lights. Welcome to another Saturday edition of the Extraordinary Men Podcast. You guys are on the line with the extraordinary men themselves. Y'all know me by now, and if y'all don't, let me remind you, I am Phil Jones, aka Mike Jones, or however you know me personally and professionally, and I am the host of the Extraordinary Men Podcast. And y'all know the greatest co-host or the greatest host. Well, I am the co-host on the other end of his co-hosting. So we are co-hosting together simultaneously at the same time, but not at the same time speaking. Introduce yourself.
What is going on, everybody? And today I got my Autobots on. I am Midas. Make sure you put a king in front of that. Let's go.
All right, man. Give me a sound effect, man. Oh, now I want to be on time. All right. So, guys, let's talk about this, man. First and foremost, as always, we'd like to thank you guys for tuning in with us because obviously, if nobody was checking it out, we just be really wasting a lot of necessary time. But you guys have really shown us that there's a need for the content that we put out, or there's a desire for the content, or at least the perspective that we present the content in. And we are eternally grateful for everybody who takes 10, 15, 20 minutes or whatever time they have to check in with us, to say what's up, to chime in on conversations, to push the needle forward, to share the content, to help us grow in this thing that we're doing. And we just want to say thank you guys from the bottom of my hearts.
Absolutely. Ditto. Absolutely.
So with all that being said, I just want to give y'all guys an update. So we are 285 subscribers in on YouTube. Looking at the social media platforms and stuff like that, as far as like, oh, that's not a whole lot. For us, it's a whole lot because we come from humble beginnings, and we respect the fact that people actually even take the time to acknowledge what it is that we do. So without every one of those subscribers, like every new one that we get is fuel to remind us that what we're doing has purpose and has value, and that we should keep going in the direction that we're going in.
Yeah. Just like that. Straight like that.
So
Straight like that.
take that.
Right. So, I mean, we definitely have, we started on Clubhouse. For anybody that don't know, we started there and we ran there for about maybe a year and a half. And then we made the transition over to this platform, to where we're now being able to stream on multiple different platforms. And it's been a journey, man. And to see how well that we've grown, and when we switch platforms, we basically, started back over to basically reinvent this thing. And to all 285 of y'all and beyond, what I'm saying, that will come in the future. Thank you. I appreciate it. And appreciate you sticking with us as we mold this thing.
More so than anything, one thing I can say for sure is the fact that when I sit here and I look at the overall reception, do you know that I officially got 994 people following me on Facebook?
That's crazy. Nice.
And it's all from putting out shorts, just discussing my thoughts, sharing my ideas and stuff like that. Getting out of work in the morning and just talking about things that I feel. And it's crazy because of the fact that those same shorts have helped me not only connect with a brand new audience, but they've also helped me to connect with a bunch of people that we came up with from back in the day that I lost touch with. That they's like, yo, it's so refreshing to see this more adult version of you, because it's a complete contrast in what we knew about you earlier in life. Mm-hmm. So to see the reception that people have of the mature version of you also gives a reassurance, because you no longer feel like you are doing something wrong for being yourself.
Yeah, I also can appreciate the fact that, with people really looking at you in a different light and becoming appreciative of the new you. And it's likewise over here too. You do have those outliers that they knew you as this, so they, no matter what, they're always going to see you as that. Always got to bring up the old, you know what I'm saying? I'm in a whole different state of mind. I'm in a whole different uh, position in my life. I got things going on, you know what I'm saying? I'm a dad now. I'm a husband now, business owner. You got all these different things going on, and it's always, a breath of fresh air when people can really see your growth and gravitate to it,
You know,
I mean, a lot.
the funny thing about it is the fact that you may not even see it in yourself. You may not even recognize it for yourself. Sometimes in a situation, and this is one of the situations that I've dealt with recently, and I don't know about you, so to speak, but this is one of the
Mm,
situations, the freakiest part of it for me is when you have somebody coming to you telling you about things that you didn't even notice about yourself.
yeah.
When they
I
come
mean,
with the weight loss thing.
yeah, like I lost 15 pounds. Like, I see it when I'm on. I see the number on the scale, but as far as body wise, I didn't see it. But outside people that know me see it. Like dog, you shed a little bit. I see it in your face. You know. All right, I'll take it.
You know, it's such a gratifying feeling. And you see, the
Mhm.
thing about it is that when I look at everybody, and it's like just kind of along the topic of what we're going with this, is the fact that goals and progress. Sometimes the progress that you make isn't aligned with a direct goal. Sometimes while you're on your journey and the things that you do, and you start realizing other things that you can tackle that directly correlate with it. Like maybe 5 years ago, I would not have thought that weight, diet, and exercise, the food that I eat, and things like that would have tied into my long term plan. But once you
Yeah.
get to a place to where you start becoming more cognizant of your health, of your vitality, of your morale, not morale, your mortality, once you start becoming more like, man, my energy is down. I'm working. I got this. I'm doing the same thing that I've always done. I got the same stride. Like I'm excited, but I just ain't got the energy to do it. And it started making you focus on other areas of your life that you reluctantly did not pay attention to. Like, let me go see this doctor. Let me go have this conversation. Let me go get a diet plan. Let me go talk to the family about what we're consuming. Maybe these chips and this steak and all this other stuff. Maybe I'm over consuming too many things, and I need to start looking at other areas of my life, like my actual life.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
And
go ahead.
it's unfortunate, like the situation that I was in, where I ended up having to go to the hospital, having these excruciating stomach issues. When they ran the MRIs, they did the whole nine, and it really just came down to the food. It is what it is, and it's a fortunate and unfortunate situation at the same time, because it's unfortunate that it had to come to me having to go to the hospital and go through all of that. And it's fortunate that I went to the hospital and went through all that so that I can now have a real thorough understanding and grasp on how detrimental it is for you to take your health serious.
Oh yeah. And see, the thing about it is that I was talking to a buddy of mine not too long ago, and he was telling me something about just different things that he started noticing now that he's gotten a little bit up there in age. And as we
Hmm.
started talking about it, we really started to acknowledge the differences that our body feels. It's like, he just reached 50, we are close to 40. And it's like those things that your body starts telling you, like, I'm having feet problems and stuff like that, to where
Mhm.
my job requires me to be on my feet so much that I never really get a chance to sit down too often. You never really realized how important a comfortable pair of shoes are.
And you know what's crazy? And this might sound crazy,
Go ahead.
but I bought some Jordans for the first time ever in history in my life about maybe a year, 2 years ago. And those are the most comfortable shoes I have ever worn. I bought them straight from the factory. They are the most comfortable shoes I've ever worn. I put in Dr. Scholl's, I put in the gels, I put in the Archers, everything. But these shoes have been the most comfortable and helpful shoes. Like I even feel that I walk different when I wear them. I don't know what it is, but dude, like they are awesome shoes.
I remember I had some I forgot what they call, some Nike something, but they're like some big bulky. I mean, God, these are some moon boots, bro. These are the ugliest shoes I ever seen in my life. Like the nerve of
The
them to have
black
the nice,
ones,
huh?
the black ones.
Yeah, the all black, like the fast
Oh,
food ones.
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God, the Ultra Grip 3000s or something. Like, bro, these are the most, like, these are the ugliest shoes ever. But man, let me tell you something. I never felt a second of the ground when I wore them.
Hmm.
I never felt a single bit of any aspect of the concrete that I was walking on when I was wearing them.
And that's crazy that we talking about feet. You know what I'm saying? My grandmother, rest in peace, Gma. Uh she used to tell me, or she told me before that when your feet hurt, that means your body hurt. Something is going on. You got to figure it out. But your feet is basically your center point, and a lot of people think that your belly button, all that is just your feet is actually the center point of your body. And when that hurt, your body is suffering from something.
And it's funny that, when you sit there and you think about it, one of those conversations that we were having was about like stage 4 cancer.
Hmm.
My uncle Leon passed away from stage 4 pancreatic cancer back during like when COVID was at its height. And one of the things that bothered me about that was when I started looking at the men in my mother's side of the family, the gene pool, like dudes ain't living too long. Like
Hmm.
they checking out before 70. So at the time that I came to this realization, I was 34. That same uncle had passed away by the time he was 68. So in the back of my mind, I'm thinking to myself, like, you 34, okay, carry the one. If the gene pool holds true, you at the 50% mark of your life. What have you done?
Hmm.
That was really the biggest wake up call ever that made me sit back and say, like, dog, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? Look at if I froze myself in real time at that time and I really started to pay attention to anything, like this aha moment was just so grand that it made me sit there and say to myself, like, how much life insurance you got?
Mm.
What's in that health insurance plan?
Mm.
It's like everything under the sun just started going through my head. It's just like, dude, are you healthy? Like, yeah, you feel good, but are you healthy? That man didn't know he had cancer until he was getting ready to check out from it. Are
Yeah.
you healthy? Go to the doctor. You got a primary care physician listed on your insurance paperwork that you ain't seen in years. Go see your doctor. Go see what's on those medical records. Go
Hmm.
find out. Go get that checkup. Tell them what's wrong. And when
And talk
you
to the
tell them,
family.
you say what?
And talk to the family.
Yeah.
Find out what the hell is running through the family. Who died
Yo,
from?
I was
How
just
long
about
have
to say
they
that.
had it?
I was just about to say that. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, um, we having grown man talk right now. Like if this too grown for y'all, it's okay for y'all to leave the room. It's perfectly fine. We understand. What I'm saying? It ain't all fun, giggles and laughs and jokes and stuff like that. But if you got kids, we are at an age where we have children. Most of us that I know, we have children. Some of our children are even adults. I know some of us that are within the age bracket within give or take 4 or 5 years of our senior that are already grandparents. So it's not necessarily something that is far fetched for us to be having a conversation about based on the dynamics of our generation. Go get on the phone and talk to your mama. Find out bipolar, schizophrenia. Go find out if diabetes, Crohn's disease. Go
Hmm.
find out if hemophilia, blood disorders. Go find out what's in there because you can very well change the entire trajectory of your family forever by being well informed and making sure that your children are well informed. And
Absolutely.
I'm gonna say this one more time. Yo, first of all, I ain't gonna say it one more time. Y'all heard me say it, but this is something I wanted to bring up. Why do you think that families don't just willfully have this conversation? We'll sit down and we'll have a sex talk with our kids and stuff, but what we don't have a family health talk? Why is that not spoken on? Why is that such a thing that we don't do?
I think because we lack a lot of education around it. That's not something that's traditionally passed down. Uh, we don't typically come from extremely health backgrounds or health oriented backgrounds, so that isn't really that big of a forefront talk that we have. You know, grandmama. And we talked about the plate situation. Why do we eat so much? Why are the plates so big? Why is the table so jam packed with food? And again, that I think because we're so accustomed to having these huge dinners and these massive plates, and you know what I'm saying, like the health talk just is not in the forefront at all.
You know, you finna be on the interview for a couple of seconds because I got mad questions, and
Mhm.
I gotta be on the ask the question side of this if you don't mind.
Real, absolutely. But but before we move on,
No, this is all
you,
pertaining to this subject. I'm staying right. I'm staying on this trajectory,
bet.
right?
I just want to add a little bit of sauce on the ribs.
Go ahead.
You said call your mama. Here's what I also want you to do. I want you to have your girlfriend, your ex, your baby mama, your wife, whoever. I want you to have them talk to their people too, because you guys have children. You need to find out what's in their gene pool as well, what's in their blood as well, to find out if your child is going to get it or not, or has a possibility of getting it or not, so you can get ahead of the curve. So talk to everybody. Your baby mama hates you, that's fine, but this is for the child. Holler at your mom and your grandmama, whoever, and find out what y'all got in y'all family, because we got to protect our child and get ahead of it if we can.
Speaking of that, I think you already know where I'm finna go because you like my one twin, no homo. You already know where I'm going with this. Mental health.
Hmm.
Why do we still have such a stigma about mental health? Why do we get so angry when it come down to going to go see a counselor or a therapist or a life coach? What about that seems to trigger our community of people, bro?
Because we don't want to feel like that we don't have a handle on our life, that we're not man enough or woman enough or grown enough in general to be able to handle our own situations. On top of that, that also puts us in a position to where we have to be accountable, and I don't want to be accountable. I don't want to have to recognize my shortcomings and be an adult about it and try to fix it and overcome it, or do anything of that sort to try to fix it and elevate from it. I want to stay right where I'm at. I'm comfortable where I'm at. I can operate where I'm at. I'm good. And I think that's the problem.
So
That
so you,
big one is accountability.
so I just want to make sure I understand. So you telling me that you think that is one part stigma, one part accountability?
Yes.
Cut and dry, straight like that. Hennessy, no chaser.
Mm-mm.
You know, I can't even say that I disagree with that. You know, for me personally, right? And I hate using that bad English, but I'm gonna use it anyway because that's who I am. I'm gonna use it. I I have a very bad habit. Or at least I had. I'm not claiming what I used to have. I had a very bad habit, and that very bad habit was I was that person who loved telling y'all I didn't need counseling. That what you think I'm crazy? I
Mm-hmm.
had every deflective tactic under the sun for the reason why I didn't need to seek professional help to help me deal with my issues and deal with my demons. I had everything under the sun for the reason why I had it under control and you just didn't understand. Let me tell y'all something. When I finally went and called Employer Assistance Program, which is a free service that's available just for being an employee, and I sat there and I talked to them and they told me, hey, you can get this many free sessions. You get to pick your counselor. You know, we'll set you up with somebody based on what it is that you need, and it's completely anonymous. And I sat there and I had a conversation. When I had the conversation, from day one, it was mind blowing. You know why? Because I realized the psychological tactic that was used to help me understand where I was going and how I got where I was. You know what the counselor did? He just put a mirror up. He said, I want you to answer these 5 questions for me and tell them to me. Now I want you to answer these 5 questions. And he put a mirror up and said, now I want you to tell them to you.
Mm.
He said, the only way this exercise works is be honest with yourself. If you're lying or if you're trying to sugarcoat it or make it less than what it is, the exercise can't work. So you got to be completely honest and transparent because you're going to feel something in the pit of your stomach answering these questions and you telling them to you. When you staring yourself in the mirror, you can't lie to you because you know what's in there. You know the truth. You can try to tell me anything. You can try to convince yourself anything, but you know the truth. And when I had to sit there and tell myself who I was, oh yeah, that's when it really hit. That's when the generational curses, all the stuff that the broke mentality, that's when all of it, because I had to take ownership for it. I had to say, this is you. This ain't what your mama did. This ain't what your daddy did. This is what you, grown adult male, father of one, this is you. This is what you're teaching your child. This is what what you're instilling in your household. This is what you're doing. This is the leadership and the tutelage that you are projecting in your household. How do it feel? Soon as that happened to me, I realized that there are some people who really, truly are gifted at what they do. And the whole time that I'm thinking like, oh man, you can't tell me nothing. It ain't about them telling you nothing. That's the misconception. That their job is not to tell you the answers. Their job is to get you to come to the realization for yourself and help you work out a plan of action to deal with it for yourself. Nowhere in psychology do they say, hey, my job is to fix your problem. They say, my job is to help you navigate through your own circumstances. I take a very clear and unbiased version of your story and I give it back to you as you have given it to me. I take the emotion out of the way that you explain it, and I give it back to you in a reasonable, rational version. Now, what you gonna do with it?
You got some people that just want to, they're habitual victims.
So let's talk about the victim mentality then.
Hmm.
You know, there's a portion of this show. It took a layer of bravery just to do this. There was a portion of me that even still, as a 37-year-old man, that was self-conscious about what would people think, what would people say, would I get laughed at, would I get made fun of? Oh, he think he gonna be like in my head. I started creating every scenario possible for the reason why not to post on Facebook. Every reason not to just say forget it, just go for it. Worst case scenario is it don't work. Best case scenario, you succeed. Worst case scenario, you succeed and you don't like it.
Mm.
But the shedding of the mental stigma. And you know what the problem is? I was never bullied in high school. I was never mistreated. I never went through some of the turmoil and things that people did. But I could never trace the root of my adversity. And still to this day, I have no idea. I have no idea why fear led my life so long.
And a lot of individuals go through that, and it could be, just not having that support system to let you know that yes, you can. You think if, therefore, you know what I'm saying, you can. Uh, I too, had that whole what people gonna think. I'm on this camera, I'm on this microphone. Am I saying the right things? Are they gonna view me in a certain way? Are they gonna view me in a way that I would like them to see me? It's a lot of things that run through your mind. But the key thing that happened is that you did it. You jumped off the porch. You didn't constantly think about it. You didn't constantly dream about it. You didn't constantly make plans for it. Midas, let's do it. I'm ready. And here we are, 285 subscribers in.
I was going to say 285 episodes, like might be somewhere now.
I mean, if you count Clubhouse, probably.
So for those who know, we have been doing this since August of 2021.
Yes.
So for those who know, we've been doing this since August of 2021. We started off in the Clubhouse and we were doing this once a week. When we started doing this and started putting this thing together, it was literally just a idea that men should be able to come together, talk about men's problems, men's health, men's mental health, our situations and relationships, our different ideas, opportunities for growth and advancement. So if I know that my brother is better with finances than me and he's better with saving than me, then he might be able to provide tips and tools to say, hey, if you try this for saving, this will help you to get out of the mindset of feeling like you got to spend every dime of your paycheck before start saving. So if you dealing with people and you got a group of people and all the people that you hear with, they have specific things that they are good at. Somebody who might not have very much of a backbone, they might need to hear from somebody who they know has that lion's growl and stand up for themselves and has no problem just letting things, not letting things slide that should not let slide. You need to be around other men because that's how the socialization things work. So that's why we created this. And initially, it was just supposed to be, just kind of going around the round table, having conversations, discussing various topics. And over time, it started to grow. But it didn't necessarily grow in people, but it grew in ideas. It grew in, hey, how far can we take this? If you really believe in what we do and you see the value in what we do, when me and my brother started reviewing the game tapes and saying, hey, little bro, this is, did you listen to that? Ooh, this is good. And we decided, okay, let's elevate it and take it to the next level. We brought it to a vote amongst all the men that were involved. There was a unanimous decision saying, hey, let's take it to the next level. And we did. And every day, my brother and I, we have conversations about, okay, well, where is the next phase? And sometimes he's thinking like, hey, look, I already know what the next phase is. I was on the next phase when we were doing the old thing. You're just now catching up to a piece of dried up ink on a page I was writing a year ago. Like I was already here. I'm thinking 20 years down the line about what merchandise deals we gonna sign. So he's already in a place to where it's like the vision is clear. And I'm in a place to where it's like, okay, cool. I'm chipping away at the day to day because I can't get to tomorrow if I don't take care of today. But bringing those things together helps to be able to say, okay, there's a very clear focus on where things are supposed to go based on what we want out of this thing to be. And the goal is to help not just men, but to help women understand men, understand how we
Mhm.
think, to understand what we do. We've had a couple of interviews on here. We've had some guest hosts come in and speak. We talked about so many different topics and so many various different perspectives of conversations at large. And we're going to continue to do so because, well, it's not about whether men get a fair opportunity to speak. It's about whether or not men are man enough to say what's right, even when it's not the popular thing to do. Are you man enough to be a man?
Mm, that's a great question. I got to ride, y'all. I know it sucks, but hey, we planning something special for my parents' 40th anniversary, dog. My parents got 40 under the belt, so me and my sister about to link up right now. We got to go take a look at this venue and lock it down. So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all rocking with us. Please keep, sending that love in because your love is what feeds us. That lets us know that what we doing actually is cared about and wanted, and you guys really appreciate what we got going on for y'all. Because not only do we do this for us, but we do this for y'all. So I am Midas. Make sure you put a king in front of that. Let's go. I catch y'all on Tuesday. Peace.
All right, so that means y'all finna rock out with me solo and y'all gonna like it. Tell little sister I said, what's up? All right, so needless to say, let's go ahead and let's rock out the way that we does it. So, with a lot of things that have been said today, we have literally sat back and just talked about the journey. And that's one thing that I actually want to emphasize to you guys is the fact that the journey means so much. Whether you realize how important the journey is or not, that is not a circumstantial thing. You have to understand that the journey, the walk, the taking of the time to get to that place that you're trying to get to is so vital and so necessary, but it's necessary for a very specific reason. Because if you don't understand that there's a duty in order to achieve the things that you want, you'll never achieve them. You'll always find every reason why to stop. And for me, there's no legitimate reason to stop what you're doing. I've done it so many times that it's just like I should be ashamed of myself. How many times I've just, I think I'll stop here. I think I'll quit here. I think I'm good right here. And it's like, no, you're never good. you're never in a position to where it's okay to just stop there. You have to put yourself in a position in the mindset to say, there's so much more to be said. There's so much more to be done. Like my personal staple on any said circumstance is a vital one, and it matters. Anybody listening to this message, you matter. Your opinions matter. Your thoughts matter. What you bring to the table matters. You may not see the reward instantly. It may not come in the form of instant gratification, but it matters. It has a place. It has a purpose. And it is appreciated. Even if it's not from the intended target, trust and believe. You've set in the stage somewhere in your actions, validating that something that is so utterly essential, something that is so utterly necessary, is based off of the things that you stop and you do just because you can. Ladies and gentlemen, I want y'all to understand that we do what we do because of the reasons that we do it. I know it doesn't always make sense, but what it does is every man has something that motivates them. And when they get to that place to where they are motivated, they will respond in kind. And that's where the beauty comes in, is that when you're able to respond in kind to something that motivates you, to something that brings you joy and peace, it does wonders, not just for you, but for everybody involved. And for me, I'm looking at the world in this perspective to where life is in an extremely good shape. And the best thing for me to do in this lifetime is to emphasize to everybody about how important it is for them to look at their lives, look at the position that they're in, and ask themselves, what's next? What am I going to tackle? Where am I going to go? After all that I've done or all that I didn't do, is today the day that I finally say, let's get started? Or is today the day that I say, okay, I've accomplished what I needed to accomplish in the last mission. What's the next mission? But we keep going. We keep moving. Anyway, guys, that's going to be our show for today. Uh, as always, you guys know that you can visit the YouTube page. Whenever you guys visit the YouTube page, that's the link right there. Scan that link that's at the bottom of the page. You can come directly to the YouTube page. Make sure to be a subscriber and hit that bell when you get there. Check out all of our content because, Lord, we have so much of it, and so much more of it to come. Alongside that, the Facebook group. If you are in the Facebook group, thank you so much. Feel free to post your questions, your comments, your concerns, your videos, your thoughts, everything that you want to talk about under the sun. You can have a conversation with us in the group chat, The Extraordinary Men, on Facebook. Aside from that, you guys can find me personally at Phil Jones or Phil Jones 1986 on every social media platform that there is. And let's talk. Let's get to know each other. Let's work together. Let's do some content together, whatever it is that you're into. I'm 100% open to whatever it is that you guys have. My brother, King Midas, he's also very much open to doing whatever it is that we can do to try to expand, build the message, create the message, build the platform, and take it to the next level. So until next time, guys, thank you all for visiting us on our Saturday edition. I'm sorry. Extraordinary Men, Phil Jones, aka Mike Jones, however you know me personally, professionally. Peace.